Yeah, we were gonna talk about like the connections between the the activism and the drinking and how they kind of fueled and the partying and also
Right,
the
yeah, I don't think we
creation
like
of community.
right. I think we've hit on those things, but not in a way that like we have made any like solid points, right? So part of that is like is what you're saying, these older gays were our mentors, right? There were these people in our community that were older than us and they were drinking. And then we had new friends, whereas while we hadn't, with the exception of Alex's bad summer with alcoholism, forced alcoholism, I don't know.
Not forced,
Um,
provided.
supervised alcoholism.
By other people drinking, yeah.
Um, the way that like we had been introduced to alcohol versus like we have these party people who are part of our queer family and we have these adults who we admire
Mhm.
who are able to party with these party people, but they are as intellectual as we are and want to be and aspire to be and are doing the things and thinking the big things, right? And so those peer pressures merging, it
Mhm.
was like, oh no, like that's the space we need to be in.
Yeah.
Like that is
I
where we
get
need to be. That's how we get there, right? Like we build these bonds and we get deeper to the people who are party people
you up.
by drinking and hanging out and hooking up. And then we make them activists as well.
I love that. I'd
Yeah.
skip the part about making them activists personally because I was very monogamous leaning. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Like it was about showing up and being present so they know who we are and that we're part of the same family and that we all like yeah, I remember talking about how important it was to have a gay bar and how I couldn't imagine for a really long time what life would be like without a Cheers family. Like this is where everybody knows your name. They know your favorite song. They know your favorite drink. And I've run into communities that still run like that. Little pockets here in Lincoln,
Mm-hmm.
even without the queue or without. Um, I forgot the lesbian bar. R.I.P.
Panic.
That without the panic. Yeah.
Panic was 21 and up though. So
Yeah.
Panic is like a
Yeah.
different chapter of our
Oh,
life.
for sure. Yeah, I'm reflecting on people I know now.
Yeah.
But, but yeah, I definitely felt that way for a long time. That to be an activist, to be part of this family, you need a home base, and that home base is a bar, or had to be a bar.
And it
Well,
was really the only option because that was the only queer space off of campus that I knew of. Uh,
and doesn't that go right back to our roots though? I mean, through and through, isn't that Stonewall? Like let's be real. Like of course we were like, of course the gay bar is a big thing. Like that's
It's just
Mhm.
yeah.
it's the birth.
And
And
so there weren't, it's not like there were community groups that were really well funded and, making
Oh,
spaces for queer
make
kids. Things
spaces the big part because there were
I
groups, but they didn't make spaces for young.
yeah.
Back and just like normalizing it.
Yeah.
It was also in the books that I read that people would meet each other over drinks or at some party. It was in a lot of the television media that we saw for young adults and teens. It was the L word for a really long time. It was um, the fucking gay male
Well,
too at Babylon or
Queer as
whatever.
folk.
Queer folk, thank you.
um, and to like nobody taught us how to drink normally. Like the old queers weren't hanging out with us the whole time we were drinking.
Mhm.
Um, unless they were there to have sex with us, but um most of the time that wasn't the case. So we didn't have people who were just drinking slowly and chatting. We had alcohol and it was provided by older people who could take their time and function while drinking a lot. But then we drank it like we had never drank anything before. And
Yeah.
Which we hadn't.
I I would say like my sad summer, it was the same thing. Like my parents, my guardians at the time, my uncles and aunts and whatever, they just let me have at it and just watched me go crazy and nuts. And you know, it was supervised, but it wasn't. there was no etiquette, there was no education. That sounds like super hoity-toity of me, but I've learned it's important to have some sort of, you don't have to call it decorum, but good behavior is just as nice.
One of the first times that I decided to like really like take the initiative and buy the alcohol myself, the older gay male who had provided it for me, um, we hung out at his house and I was drinking, and at some point in time, I started talking about him asking his friends if I could have a threesome with them. And he the next day was like, I don't know if I should be doing this, providing alcohol to you guys anymore, because I can't field those kinds of he was like, that's not a place where I should be. I don't know why I'm having these conversations. Um but I was just drunk and saying shit, saying literally anything I could, because that's the excuse, right? Like, what is that American culture thing where we lose all inhibitions and just say whatever the fuck? Like, other cultures aren't like that. Like, you don't just get to be whoever you want to be when you're drunk and then
Thanks,
forget that it happened. Sorry, what?
thanks, prohibition.
Yeah, I do wonder, like, if we had had a freshman year where, you could drink at 18 and we were hanging out with the old queers at like brunch, having mimosas in the middle of a Sunday, if that would have changed the way we drank. Because like the way I saw the vision for this was I was teaching at the University of Toronto, where the drinking age is 19. So almost all of our undergrads were drinking, but they didn't have that binge drinking cycle that we were on, and that a lot
Mm-hmm.
of American students get on, because they were drinking with their families at Christmas and they were having wine, and somebody had taught them how to drink,
Yeah.
how to
Yeah.
drink responsibly and how to have fun doing that. And the way that they acted around alcohol was totally different, super mature for their age. They were 19,
Mm.
20, 21. But they didn't have that kind of relationship that we had initially with alcohol.
Right.
So I do think it would have been really different if we'd been in a different country.
Well, and then too, we talk about the older gays. For us, when we then became the older gays, we were still partying
Yeah.
and corrupting youth
Yeah.
and getting them, you know, drunk and throwing up in our hallway or whatever the fuck.
I thought she was our age. That woman was our age.
Which one?
Shasta? Shasta was our age.
Not our
Shasta.
class. She's not our class. I
Oh,
think she's
yeah, she's Josh's class, I think.
Oh, okay.
so I mean, I know the older gays were a lot older than us, but when we were in the position of being the older gays of that organization, when it was just us leading it, we were still binge drinking and partying.
Yeah, not great. Not a good color.
Maybe even more than we were. No, absolutely more than we were as freshmen, because there was also other substances involved.
Because that was senior year, and I was living with Sam, and we were like making jungle juice in giant plastic tubs.
Jungle juice nights.
Mm-hmm.
God. Uh,
Dude, the things that happened in that public park during your guys'
Oh
parties.
God, the
I,
porno park.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know why it's called the porno park, and I'm not just being facetious.
Well, because they redid the park and they installed a bunch of these plastic sort of structures that were supposed to be artistic, I think, but they looked like dildos. So I think that was also, I mean, it was close to where I lived, but also it
Yeah.
was, oh, let's hang out on that porno park.
It added an ambiance to some hangouts.
And you guys had the house where you had Ludacrismas. It was all that same year.
Yeah, that's a whole other chapter of life, that house on P Street.
Yeah.
That's the name of a book for fucking sure.
That house on P Street. Yeah. Did any of the older gays introduce you to any music? Like, do you remember, other than one specific band, which one of them was in?
Ah, thank you.
totally
He
forgot
brought
about
it
Once
to.
Upon.
Nope, I was just listening to it last weekend. Yeah.
Really?
They're
They
on
Are they
Spotify.
on like are they online
They're on
somewhere?
all of
Spotify.
it's on Spotify now. Yeah.
Really? Oh my
It's
God. Okay,
good. It's a
I have
jam.
to check this out.
Once
Yeah.
upon y'all.
Once upon.
I did get I kind of put Scott in with the older gays because he was older.
It was
He
older.
was
Yeah.
6 years older than me. So he introduced me to Coyote Grace, and he's the reason I started listening to Indigo Girls too, and went to that concert. Antigon and Sarah. I think
Mm-hmm.
somebody else was like it was one of the older gays, I think. I don't know, maybe Azure, but I wasn't fully plugged into any of that before, you know, queer girl with guitar music.
Azure was a big proponent of how have you not heard of this band?
Mhm.
You're gay. How have you not heard of this band? And then she would like make a mix CD and
It was unmentorable. I just refused to be mentored because I really did see it as like a grooming thing a lot of the time.
But with the gay men, it was kind of like
Thank
there
you.
was a
Yeah,
sexual element to it that
there
didn't
was.
exist with like Azure and me.
Except for Ignatius, and he gave me comic books that
yeah.
had, like people of color as a superhero. And he gave me his copies of Invincible, and I freaking regret losing those. It was amazing, and I didn't understand at the moment. He was such a cool dude to like share that with me.
What advice do you give to somebody not who is going to be a college freshman and doesn't have community? How do you advise them that they do what you did and just walk up to the student resource office and say, where are the queers or gays or whatever?
I mean, I do teach a lot of 18-year-olds, and I whenever I do encounter them, I do tell them like, find your peers. But not just the queer ones. Like find people that are into writing. Like I really wish
Mm-hmm.
that I had gone to the writing clubs and that I had like participated in some of the other activities that, could have given me some different kinds of friends. Not
Yeah,
that, I love you guys, but the constant partying was the only thing I knew. And I wish that I had kind of branched out and did other things um, that were related to the passions I had. So I do tell students to do that, but at the same time, I tell them it's all about genuine friendships too. Like, don't go out there trying to network. Because I don't know, I don't know if you know, but like a lot of students nowadays, it feels like show up and they're like, I'm ready to network. I'm ready to like further my career. And I'm like, please don't. Don't do any of that.
Mm-hmm.
Just make genuine friends with people that
Yeah.
you care about.
Right.
yeah,
The idea that social capital is something that you can achieve by just saying you're ready to achieve it is the weirdest fad in society today. Like, and I see that, as a TikToker, I see that on social media platforms all the time. Like there is literally a market for people just saying like, I've done this thing and this is how you can do it too, even if they haven't done the thing. And it's like, how is that going to work for you in the long run? And I get like the whole fake it until you make it thing. I really do. But you also have to be trying to make it at the same time. Like
yeah,
you can't fake it the whole way. At some point in time, you have to be ready to make a product. Um, and I think that notion of like we are who we know and we are our greatest power is our social leverage is um, definitely something that you see more and more young people like really really focusing on.
It's kind of gross. I mean, you're essentially capitalizing and commodifying friendships.
Hmm.
which is just like it feels so icky to me. Um, I want like if somebody is going to help me further my career, let's just put it in those terms. I want it to be because we're friends and we care about each other. I don't necessarily want it to be a like, you know, you scratch my back, I scratch you.
Yeah.
Like I hate that.
An
Ew.
endless cycle of bargaining and leveraging. Yeah, that's not fun.
Yeah.
I think that's what I liked about our friendship is there was an exchange of ideas and we talked a lot about our ideals and
Mhm.
what we wanted to see in the future and the kind of lives that we wanted to have, and we were articulating that for sometimes the first time, and really for me I was trying to make that more solid in discourse with you all. um I'm sorry, that's not answering the questions, but like, yeah, I think that's,
But no,
I
I
don't,
mean, I think you're
yeah,
echoing what Sindu is saying, that your advice to somebody would be to be genuinely yourself and make the connections about what'd you say earlier? The vibe? The people you vibe with are the people that
yeah,
are going to benefit you the most. I think that's fair to say for
yeah.
sure.
I still look for, even when I'm trying, like when someone is trying to mentor me or like put me into a functional box with the idea that there's going to be mentorship and I'm going to support you in your career, and help guide you through that, I'm still like, our values don't really align. I
Hmm.
this is for me to punch in hours for you. I don't interact too often in a guidance space, or in a position where I don't operate from a position of power and like I try to influence. I have to wait for those questions to come up. Um, so I do have to think about it a lot. And when it does, there's usually not room for like cautionary tales or this is what I went through. And I don't usually work with people who have the wherewithal to ask for a diagram or some bullet points or a plan or to map out specific spaces.
I mean, maybe not professionally, but I did just meet a 28-year-old who referred to himself as your gay son. So, I mean, you're doing something. Like,
Yeah,
I don't think it has to be. Yeah, I think Cindy used the word career because that's, just like a point that people use, but I don't think it always has to be about that. I think, I mean,
there's some overlap there professionally and socially. He helped me with some professional things, and that's how we got very close. That's how I got the paternal edge to my relationship there. But you're right. Um, I, I was just, that helps me bridge to the point where there are people that call me Papa Bear or call me this or that. And it doesn't happen often. And it's really, I make it hokey and funny, but um, I think underneath that all is building relationships where you're at and being your authentic self, like Sindhu was saying. But as far as telling people where to go or where to find it, and it's always talking about like the within and what kind of behaviors are you doing to take care of yourself, and
mm-hmm.
that your best self is available when the time comes, because you don't get to pick an hour. You don't really get to pick the time of day unless you're really maximizing your wellness and health.
And you won't know either.
Yeah.
Like, you can think for sure that you have something figured out, and then it can seem utterly stupid 3 months later or whatever. Like, we've all been there. Like,
Yeah.
I do want to say, like, I was having a meeting with one of my ex-students, Dina Folger, just to give credit where credit is due. And Dina said that they were talking about the difference between creating community and just making friends. And it really made me so grateful that even though we were making friends, as in we were becoming really close, we were always kind of creating community, as in all of our spaces, all of the events that we created were trying to be as inclusive as possible, and we were trying to pull people in rather than exclude.
mhm,
And the problem I had with the Nightheart gays was that they were cliquey. It was all about being exclusionary so that they could feel better than
mhm.
everybody else. And I'm really, really grateful that most of our stuff was about inclusion. And that's another thing that I really want a young person to know is that you should be trying to create community actively and not just trying to make friends and, you know, be a little clique where you can feel better than everybody else.
That imposter syndrome must have run hard. Did you two have imposter syndrome while we were hanging out and doing our thing and being our leaders? I don't remember having that until much later in
No.
life.
I didn't have it. And I credit that with having such a strong family, like chosen family.
Yeah.
I think at times for me it was all incredibly taxing, just draining. And I think too, like, like it's always a matter of perspective too, and you have to keep that relative. And I think that we did, and I think what you're saying is absolutely true about us always attempting to be inclusive, and especially if we saw somebody being left out, we tried to include them more if they didn't have like their own little group. I also know from my wife, who is 2 years younger than us and went to the same school, that we were the cool kids and that there were people that were afraid to approach us and did see us as some type of superior group of those kids are the activist kids, those kids are the ones that are known and names on campus for sure. So
That is wild. I don't even know how to process this.
so I mean, I think there is just a matter of perspective there that we have to yeah, I mean, she used the word elitist. She was like, no, you guys were elitist, and I was like, we were.
We were. Were we?
Okay, I don't know, but it goes back to that too. Like sometimes you don't know what you don't know. You don't know who you're like. She was a Nyhart gay. She was a younger Nyhart gay. The Nyhart gays above her had left by the time she was there, but like she was part of that clicky smart kids that hung out in Nerd Heart, and um,
We were the jocks.
no, we were the
We,
geeks, but we weren't nerds. Or I
we
mean, you had the opportunity to be a nerd and you left.
I did. I ran far away.
I think we all had a certain, it's hard, it's gross to say, but looking back, there was swagger. That would have been the word. Um,
Mm-hmm.
with some leadership swagger. And it
Oh
was don't
shit!
specific
Yes.
dirty kind, but we were able to take command of a room, even when it was stupid and I didn't know what I was gonna say. We had that skill set.
Riz. That's
Is the word today.
that's the word kids use today. I have it. I know I have it. I've always had it. I don't know how. I don't. It's not a thing that's practiced, right? But yeah, no, I can command a room, and I feel good about that fact. And if I get nervous, I like just do the thing, and then it's over, and I'm like, hey, I did that thing.
Yeah, that is
Do you
nice.
think it's for you guys? I mean, I know I wasn't in theater, but do you think your abilities to do that is from theater?
I think that people who have the ability to do that
Or drawn to?
gravitate to
Yeah.
I was gonna say
the
I
theater.
sought theater for that. I would have sought I would have tried to do AV club or do the news announcements if it was high tech like it was in the movies. Like I would have
Yeah.
done that. I would have been
Well,
broadcaster or something.
and
I would
I
have,
will say it's all a lot better for me after I was medicated. I know we didn't talk a whole lot. Alex hinted on our mental health, but like I did say that it was draining and like because I can do all of those things and I would put all of my energy into that riz, into that charismatic, into making everybody feel comfortable. I still do that with parties now. My daughter's 5-year-old birthday party, I was making sure every single person younger and older than me was comfortable because that is the type of impression that I want to leave on people. I want them to leave my parties feeling like they just had a great time and they want to do it again. In college, when I wasn't medicated and couldn't like afterwards recover and be like, God, that really was a lot. I need to take some time to just be me. That shit fucked me up. Not like in a way that I could even process, but like just having those parties and wanting to make sure everybody was engaged and going and and doing my Sarah charm and pulling a few people aside and making them watch this video if they were feeling left out, and then going back over to the main group and making sure they all still had their drinks, and then running from place to place to place, and then the next day waking up and trying to do it again. Like just
Stop
never.
Don't have a hangover, do school, and also,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
it was a headache for sure.
Mhm.
And you always had like a grander design and the willingness to make that work. I've known that about you forever.
Yeah. It feels a lot different now that I'm like almost 40, because I am almost 40. I'm 39. Um, and just being like, yeah, like, no, I don't have the energy for that right now. Like, or like we went to a haunted house yesterday and now I am tired. I am lit tired.
I'm tired. Look at the earth. It's round.
Oh my God. Should we watch that?
Oh my God.
So
Runner.
before YouTube was really big, we had like 5 or 6 viral meme-ish videos that we would watch regularly, because the amount of content that you could just access with a click wasn't infinite like it is now, right? And one of those such things was it an E-bombs world? The end of the world? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Let me pull it up.
Find Homestar Runner.
Homestar Runner was a whole other thing.
It was its own website. Oh yeah, you're right. But everything had their own website. There wasn't not everything was on YouTube.
Okay, hold on. I gotta turn up the sound.
Got a little puppet
Okay,
stuff.
so here's the Earth. Chilling.
the Earth.
Jane, that is a sweet Earth, you might say. Round. Alright. Ruling
Round.
out, the ice caps melting, meteors becoming crashed into us, the ozone layer leaving, and the sun exploding, we're definitely going to blow ourselves up. Okay. So basically, we've got China, France, India, Israel, Pakistan, Russia, the UK, and us with nukes.
Us.
We've got about 2,600 more than anybody else. Whatever. Anyway, one day we decide those Chinese sons of a bitches are going down. So we launch a nuke at China. While it's on its way, China's like, shit, who the fuck is shooting us? Oh well, fire missiles. Then France is like, shit guys, we got the missiles, they are coming, fire our shit. But I'm let tired. Have a nap. Then fire the missiles! Meanwhile, Australia is down there like, WCF, mates. India, Israel, and Pakistan launched their shit, so now we've got missiles flying everywhere, passing each other.
Yo.
Russia's like, motherland! Then England's like, about that time, eh, chaps? Righto. So now the US is like, fuck, we're dumbasses. Canada's like, what's going on, eh? Australia's still like, WTF. Mars is laughing at us, and some huge meteor's like, well, fuck that. So, now we've got nuclear winter. Everyone's dead except Australia. And they're still like, WTF. But they'll be dead soon. Fucking kangaroos. But, assuming we don't blow ourselves up, us Californians just have to worry about California breaking off from the United States to go hang with Hawaii. Unless they can come too. The end!
The end.
Yeah, I had totally forgotten what the point of this video was. Like, I just remembered I'm tired, round, and hockey. So, like, that's all I remember.
Okay, take a nap. Then fire the missiles. Because our partners would repeat that to each other
Yes.
soberly.
It was a big deal. I mean, it was them, but it was like everywhere.
It
like
was.
you could say, I am late tired. And I'm pretty sure even just people listening to this will be like, oh yeah, no, I know what that's from.
Before? That is not the site I was looking. Oh yeah. So hit tunes on the remote. And scroll down to the old stuff, okay?
What the?
Yeah, it looks like it used to. Like, it's so wild. Like, this is what the internet.
It's just like Flash, right? Flash.
Yeah.
Flash, that's what it's called. And they have so many more new things now.
What do I?
You click the little, you can't play it, right?
You have to select to watch it on homestarrunner.com or select to watch it on YouTube.
Oh.
God.
pick it in. Great job there, Homestar. I'm sorry, what? I see you did a great job out there. I did a great what? A great job. Oh, man. Bob, you gotta check this out. Okay, Coach, tell Bob what I did today. Well, I was just telling Homestar here that he'd done a great job.
Yeah, it gets worse
Coach,
every time.
That's ridiculous. We've got to do something about that.
Oh, job. Oh, job. Coach C, you need to make your mouth into an O like this. Oh.
You mean like this?
That's better.
Okay, Coach, let's give this one more try. Repeat after me. Job. Jorb. Yes, this sounds very good. My only recommendation would be next time, try to add some more syllables. Perhaps 3, perhaps 4. Oh, jeez. I'm just not cut out to say the word gerb. How am I ever gonna face the boys at practice tomorrow? Coach Z, I heard about your problem and I think that I can help. This is a tape I made from when I was practicing the dictionary. Listen to it while you slumber, that tomorrow you may wake to find wow! Thanks a lot, Strong said!
That's a cassette tape.
Job, 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 job,
Look at this.
job, 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 job,
God.
Well, Coach, how did I do today? Well, I tell ya, you did a great job, Hamstray.
Hamstray?
Wait, I mean hamster. I mean strumster. I mean stairmaster. Homegrown. Ramrod?
Ramrod.
Humble.
Different times.
I forgot about the
Herb.
gerb. I forgot how the old Flash animation looked.
Mm-hmm.
Great gerb.
Why? I would spend a lot of time just doing this.
Great gerb.
Yeah, I didn't grow up with like private internet, but I probably would have done this a lot. It is fascinating. Did you guys see like the common thread there is like regional racism or whatever? Like
Yes.
Yes, back when that was okay.
yeah, back when it was all the time,
Yes.
everywhere. Oh, different times.
Oh my God.
This is my favorite thing ever.
I'm
You're looking-
totally checking my email.
Yeah.
Total, man. Hi, Strongman. This is Trevor from Hampton, Maine, and I was wondering if you could teach me how to be as awesome as you. I am a vampire and... And what? That's it? I'm a vampire and here's $1 million? Or I'm a vampire and here's your own spaceship? I mean, what the... Oh, no, I get it. They got him! Somebody stuck him with a stake through the heart. Oh, this is so sad. Oh, Trevor, I pine for you. Hi, everybody. In memoriam of poor Trevor, let's go back and revisit a few of my favorite Trevor memories. This is Trevor from Hampton, Maine, and I was wondering if you could teach me how to be as awesome as you. Oh, that was great. And who could forget this one? I am a vampire and... And what? That's it? Ah, we sure had some great times, Trevor. I miss you, bro.
Still funny. Still so fucking funny.
I forgot that it was like it was supposed to be like a Danny Trejo accent. I can't speak now, but like that wrestler, I forgot that it's a weird comedic Mexican accent. I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm. He's a lucha libre.
Mhm.
That's right. Damn, shit's hilarious because it's just like a puppet. It's just a sweet little puppet boy trying to help the world. Nothing was malicious then.
I mean, Homestar Runner
yeah,
has a disability.
yeah,
Like physically, for one, he doesn't have arms, but
yeah.
But yes, he speaks like a person who has a disability commonly speaks. So there's that, you know, but it was 2000, so everything's problematic.
Yeah.
God. Yeah. I mean, I keep thinking about how when we were in high school and college, I guess, Harry Potter was being canceled by conservatives, and now it's being canceled by progressives, which is like a future no one could have predicted.
Yeah, let's take a deep breath and talk about Harry Potter for a little bit. Because why not? We've got time.
Yes.
Because it wasn't about her. It was about him.
Yeah. I mean, it was about witches at first, right? All of this. Like sometimes people, I don't think, realize how much vitriol there was from the conservatives and from the Christians against Harry Potter. How many people were not allowed to read it because it was about witchcraft.
In my junior high school, what, the first movie had just come out, maybe, and there was somebody hacked the computers in the library to say Harry Potter will eat your children. Some kid had obviously done this, and it was just playing on repeat on all of the computers. Harry Potter will eat your children on the screensavers. So yeah. So yes, it was very much like you were open-minded if you're reading Harry Potter because you were it was a thing that the liberal kids were doing.
Especially if you were, you know, a nerd. It was kind of par for the course. If you were into D&D or into anime or into any of that, you were sort of also kind of at least a little bit into Harry Potter.
Maybe. If you're not too snobby about it just being a knockoff of Lord of the Rings, because I've definitely encountered those people. That are like, that's like Lord of the Rings for babies. You're not a baby.
What?
I've encountered those people.
Who's the orphan? I guess Frodo is not close to his parents and lives in a hole. That might as well be stairs. But no one forced him there. He's super wealthy.
Yes.
So is Harry Potter.
It's just all like the Fellowship is all men. All of the women are these like
they literally had to shoehorn women roles into it to make it bigger for the
and the orcs are people of color. And that was enough for me. I was like, no, I can't.
They're supposed to be Mongolians. I didn't know that. Mongolians. Yeah. Specifically.
That
Yeah.
makes yeah.
Yeah, they had dark skin in the movie. And no.
Yes, that was obvious.
And the lower class accent. They're Cockney accents.
Yes.
Yes.
Accent.
Everybody else speaks proper, and those orcs are like, "Oi!"
Yeah.
Wait's
They
back
like
on the menu, boys.
Yes.
That line. Yeah. Ugh.
whereas like Harry Potter in contrast seemed progressive for the time, right? Like there were
Mhm.
strong female characters, there were people of color, even though that was extremely problematic, but we couldn't really identify that then. And then, you know, Dumbledore being retconned to be queer was more than what we had.
Mhm.
Yeah, we were hungry for
We're
scrap
so hungry.
in children's literature. We
Yeah.
we wanted everything, anything possible.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And now that's why you're doing the good work.
And now, yeah, and J.K. Rowling has since Joanne has since gone on to be very um, turf and just gross in general. I just can't even.
Yeah.
I
Also,
mean,
feuding with every cast member over it too is also funny. Like,
yeah, I think at this point, like, I can't really, I have a hard time with millennials who can't let go of Harry Potter, to be completely honest. I'm like, I know it was such a big part of our childhoods, but like, it's actively harmful.
Yeah.
So let's just let it go. Let it go into the wind.
Let it go.
yeah, still exists that shouldn't. Like the everything that happens in Aladdin, honestly. Disney isn't trying to, well, I mean, they're always trying to profit, but I think it's different because Disney tells stories by a lot of different people, where the Harry Potter series is just
It
J.K.
direct,
Rowling's.
yeah, it
Yeah.
directly benefits one person who is then funneling that money and that influence into anti-trans activism,
Yeah.
Mhm.
which is not okay. Like, even if you don't buy anything from her, the more you participate in fan culture, the more it helps her indirectly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, for me,
It's
I just can't.
I mean, it's not going anywhere. Warner Brothers and Universal can't let it die. They've tied theme parks into this shit, so like it's gonna be around forever.
Mhm.
The idea that there's a reboot of the series is just weird to me. I
Yeah.
just don't know why they need to do that, even if Snape is played by a black man.
I saw an article on them that said they were gender blind casting Voldemort. And I was like, why?
That's why
What
they
does that what does that accomplish?
why the villain? Why the
Yeah.
villain?
Yeah. Why
I
not Harry?
Thank you.
Mm.
Voldemort is was born a man. I don't think we need the narrative that I don't think we need that.
No, we don't.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, yes, trans people can grow up to be whatever they want to be. We're we're gonna get. You can't fuck with people, man. Stop it. Stop it.
We live in such a dangerous time right now, really, like with the current administration and their policies towards a portion of the population that is way too small to be this concerned about. And therefore, it's of course going to have ripple effects on everybody. And I
Nope.
definitely forgot
Nope.
I didn't forget, but I don't regularly remember that we did almost every day have somebody sitting on the back steps of the union with some type of
With a giant cross and
cross and words written all over it and yelling at people about anything
mhm.
for long stretches of the year. He might not have been there in the very cold, but he was there for most of the school year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
And
not
there
there.
would always be like the kind of asshole, cool hipster, straight guy atheist who's like, loudly debating him in a crowd
Yes.
of people around them. And to be honest, I'm glad that they took one for the team. I didn't ever want to talk to him. I just wanted to pass by without being yelled at. And those straight white atheist dudes, took one for the team.
I definitely once told a guy to have a very gay day.
Nice.
Or just like, I don't even know what he said. I don't remember what he said in response. I wasn't listening. But I was like, you have a gay day now, sir.
Nice. I just passed by the Union Thursday, and they were doing what are they calling it now? A 24-hour music festival. Um,
Ah.
yeah, and against the Palestinian genocide. That was really cute. Like
Oh.
cute because like okay, I know I know behind the scenes it took a lot of courage. Um, it was a young woman or female
Presenting.
presenting person, yeah. But like a mask on her face, um, general conservative garb, and in the highest soprano voice, commanding an audience through some chants, and occasionally losing the beat. And it made me think, like, I wish you and I and we and our family had spent more time practicing the chants because there's an element to old school activism where churches were involved and those church people were in the choir, so they were practiced. They knew beats. They knew how to
Some people have it or don't,
voice.
man. I don't. I never did. I can't. I don't have rhythm. I still don't. It's not a thing you
So
can.
it was super cute. It was super cute in that like these were baby gays, not they weren't gays, but they were babies. And they weren't babies, they were full grown adults, I know, but like I just wanted like, oh, I need to support you, but I am an elder and the best I can do for you is to be here present and let other people linger. And when I see the cops talk with someone in a suit, go stand next to them to know that let them know they're still part of this fucking circle and people are watching them because I don't know what they're up to. Um,
Yeah, I do think our role has changed in terms of, activism, especially campus activism. And now, I'm
back
more in an advisory role where students come to me and they say, this is a problem. And I'm like, well, you do have options. You do have things that you can do. And I see my role as reminding them that activism is possible and that it can be effective and that it's also really hard.
it's
And
very
yeah.
It's
I thought this
interesting.
other yeah.
I find myself wanting to be back in it a bit more. I live in a town that is majority people who are like older than me. The average age of this town is older than me, and that's the first time that I've lived in somewhere where the average age of the town is older than me. Like, outside of like when I was in Lincoln, I was, surrounded by college kids. In Iowa City, I kept getting older and they stayed college kids age, right? So like I've lived my adult life in college towns until I got back to Council Bluffs. And there are like people, retirees that are running the protest here. And then there's like nothing, right? So like I feel the need to be like getting back up in it because like what are we doing,
Yeah.
millennials and Gen Xers? Oh God. Don't even get me started on Gen Xers. Like I know it's not, we can't generalize. There are people on both sides of the fence on every level, every generational period. But I swear the Gen Xers just completely lost their string. Like they were supposed to be like the cool ones. Like they were like part of it in the 90s. They were like moving stuff forward. They had Nirvana. They were gonna do it, they're post Reagan, they were gonna do it, and then now they're just the worst.
They were the most against selling out.
Yes, but then they got complacent because it's like, it's when you grow up in a time of boom, it's easy to turn inward and like just kind of, nest with your own families and not have to kind of go out of the way and create other families, chosen families. And a lot of queer people did, but then, I think things splintered.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Things splintered really fast. Like I just think about things like the Michigan Women's Festival and how anti-trans they got
Mhm.
and how that was the end. Like that splintered the community so fully and so like so much that you couldn't put it back together. And that
Mhm.
wasn't us.
No.
That was an earlier generation. So yeah, I hope that and I do see millennials doing the same thing. Like
Mhm.
kind of turning insular and just focusing on our own families and our own stuff
Mhm.
and not really
It's
being.
easy to do. It's so hard. And the thing is like you will encounter people who are working incredibly hard. They're doing the work. They're doing activist work for their careers or not. And then they're also still being told via social media or via other avenues that what they're doing isn't enough. And it's like they're exhausted from whatever thing it is they're doing. Like, you know,
On top of their regular lives.
yeah,
Yes.
like whatever nonprofit, like you can't help but then like when those things happening, when you're doing these things and somebody just keeps telling you like, oh, you're not good enough still. It's just like, well, then what the fuck is the point?
Like nothing's gonna move. And that's the thing about activism, I think that's hard for people to understand is that nothing's gonna move the needle a lot. It's like tiny, teeny tiny increments of moving the needle a little by little, and then it accumulates over time, and it accumulates when lots of people are doing what they can.
And it
It,
Mhm.
requires
it's
consistent pressure. We are
yes.
Mhm.
constantly exerting some amount of pressure. And it's better than the alternative of letting it cave in over us. But it is work. It's not just the work that you're physically doing that people can see. It's not just the work that you're doing to prepare for the thing that people can see. It's also the work to put your lives back together afterwards or to keep your life stitched together throughout all these steps towards progress. And yeah, it's
And people get burnt out. Like I was so burnt out after Lincoln. I moved away and I was just like, I need to do me for a little while. And I
Mhm.
did. And once I started teaching, that was a way to kind of, put my energies into a different generation. And that was really helpful. But like, that kind of, am I organizing rallies right now? No, I'm not.
Yeah.
Activism looks different for me now, and it does. Like it will change over the course of your lifetime, what it looks like and how you can be helpful.
Mhm.
But I think giving up altogether is just not an option.
Right. I
for
mean,
me.
my mission right now is to protect the sacred queer timeline in case there's ever a need to travel back and make sure all of this media happens. Like that's literally the point of this podcast. So,
I
Hmm.
say for me, active are looking like the self-care piece where we have to learn people who struggle with mental health have to work together
mm,
to make safe spaces, to be as consistently as possible present for one another so we can help each other advocate for our needs, recognize where our mistakes are, and generously give support so that we can overcome those mistakes, so that we can continue to advance and do things that we really want to do. And that looked like circles of talking about it and offering support and a lot of me modeling what it could look like, not what it's supposed to look like, but what it could look like. And that, yeah, is exhausting
yeah.
because it's
And
8 hours of being there for someone else.
okay, guys, I think we've pretty much
Proud of you guys.
wrapped up.
Proud of you activists. This is the power, the
Yeah.
generation of power that we found that February.
Was it this or was it this? Was it a vagina or
It was
It
was
was
we did
no.
both.
it was both?
Yeah. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Oh yeah.
Oh shit. Okay. One more time, Sindu. Cute. Okay. Nerds. Love us. All right.
everything. We were gonna get tattoos.
All right, guys, thank you for joining us and hanging with us while we reminisce about being young and queer and the importance of community. And if you're hearing this and you need just somebody to reach out to, you can always hit me up on the social media. I don't have a whole lot of concrete advice, but I will be there for you while you process what you need to get going and building your own community. Thank you for listening, and Sindu and Alex will be back, I'm sure.
Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.